Hello and welcome to the BVB update for September 13th. I'm Stefan Butzko, and in this format I cover Borussia Dortmund news and other shenanigans. And today it's obviously the day for me to yet again predict the starting 11 for tomorrow's match. And hopefully there are a few players that can be added that come off the injury list, but more on that later. First, I will obviously read some news from today's news conference, but also a quick plug to today's Yellow Wall Pod, because I did record this morning with David Mooney from the Blue Moon podcast to give a preview of the match and more insight on Manchester City. So go check it out if you want. It's obviously linked, but you can also find it in your podcatcher. It's also back on Apple Podcasts, which I'm very happy about. But let's dive right in with the players that traveled to Manchester today. And as you can see, Daniel Malen among the players that traveled, and Ronach have this very nice video of the players in their brown suits. So yeah, I don't know if this is your style or not, going a bit Peaky Blinders, I guess, as you can see here. And yeah, you can also see here the squad list. Maya and Unbehauen are the goalkeepers. Lotka obviously not registered for the Champions League. Also with on board were Süle, Schlotterbeck, Hummels, Koulibaly, Guerrero, Rothe, Wolf, Meunier, Passlack, Can, Özcan, Bellingham, Reina, Brandt, Reus, Azar, Adeyemi, Malen, Moukoko, and Modest. And if you've paid attention, then you can see that, of course, Azar, Adeyemi, and Malen are three players that were out against Leipzig, so it is great to have them back. And Edin Terzic at the news conference said, obviously being asked about the impact that players like Adeyemi and Malen could have, quote, "Pace in modern football is very important. You could see the difference in the game against Leipzig. I already said last week that Daniel Malen and Karim Adeyemi are very close to a comeback. We have another 2 training sessions before the match, which is why they traveled with the team. We will see today how they feel in training and how their bodies react to the training sessions tomorrow. Both have felt pain in the last few days, and we have to make sure that they are pain-free. So we hope that we get a thumbs up tomorrow and that both can play." And he was also asked what Borussia Dortmund have to do against Manchester City tomorrow, and he said, quote, "We have to prepare for a tactically flexible opponent. They will have 70 to 75% possession, so the question is, what can we do with the remaining 30 to 25%? How can we hurt them and make them suffer? Obviously, you need a bit of luck, and Alexander Meyer needs to have a perfect night, because Man City are capable of scoring 4 or 5 goals against any given opponent on any given night." And he was also asked about seeing Erling Haaland again, and he said, quote, "We're looking forward to seeing Erling again. We have been very happy with him on and off the pitch during his time at Dortmund. We wish him all the best for the future. He had a superb start, which doesn't surprise us. Manchester City are a team that's capable of scoring 100 goals in any given Premier League season, so it's not a surprise that Erling did find a net here as well. We're hoping that he won't score tomorrow, and we'll do everything in our power to stop him." And Terzic also replied to Manuel Akanji's complaints that he did not play during the transfer window, and there he said, quote, "I'm also looking forward to seeing Manuel Akanji. It was not an easy situation for him, nor for us. Him not playing with the transfer window still being open was a normal process. He told us that he wanted to move to a top club, so we decided to add 2 more center backs. I'm glad that he managed to find a new club, although it was on deadline day. He told me in person that he would only leave for a top club, but same as with Erling, we will try to defeat him tomorrow." And with that, I'm moving on to some quotes from Jude Bellingham. Here it goes.
I think it's important that everyone's present, with and without the ball, because otherwise they'll pick us apart because they have the quality. So yeah, it's important for us that we're all together. I feel like a lot of aspects of my game have improved, defensively, offensively, even kind of as a leader and off the pitch, and things that maybe you guys don't see every week. I think I've had brilliant members of staff since I've got here, and they've all tried to pick at different things that I can improve. And I'm really grateful that I've been able to have the people around me where I can sit down and they've been honest with me about what I need to improve. And that's all I can.
Is there
really
any
say
specifics that you can?
There's too much to say, really. I think there's not an aspect of my game that the staff haven't tried to target, whether it's physical, technical. They've done a really good job at targeting everything, and I feel like my game's got better in most aspects. Yeah, I think all of it's been a bit of a surprise. I didn't think I'd come here and maybe have the impact that I had as quickly. Maybe I think I'd have to wait a bit longer to maybe get in the team and play, and play a lot of minutes, but you know, I've got to give credit to the staff and obviously the coaches that I've had, Edin, Lucien Favre and Marco Rosa, because they've kind of thrown me in at the deep end and given me the exposure and given me the chance to learn. I think, you know, I've had qualities that I didn't maybe know I had before I came, and you know, it's all down to them really giving me the trust that managed to get it out of me.
Obviously, the World Cup's just around the corner. How do you sort of view that? Because there's quite a lot of competition in the midfield area. Yeah,
definitely. I think there's a really strong squad, and you know, if I want to go, then which I do, I have to make sure that I'm performing at my best as often as possible. And you know, I think there's pressure in that, but it's also kind of a given in football. I always want to be at my best for my team to try and win first and foremost. And you know, I think if I can continue that, then hopefully I'll be able to be there.
Of course. Jude, you're now the third captain of Borussia Dortmund. You've been wearing the arm band, I think, against Copenhagen for a few minutes. What does it mean to you, and what kind of impact do you want to have?
I think it means the world to me, to be honest. You know, I came, you know, as a kid. I'm still quite young, but to be given that responsibility at my age, I think it's a real honour, and I'm really grateful to the coach and the guys higher up at the club who have thought that I'm ready for that kind of challenge. I think, you know, to wear the Champions League armband at any point in a Champions League game is something that will always feel special to me. And in terms of my impact, it's just wanting to maintain the way I've always been when I've been at the club. I want to lead by example, vocally as well, but you know, I want to just help the team win at all times, and whether that's on the pitch or as a leader, then that's what I'll try and do.
And with that, I'm moving on to my predicted starting 11. And as you can see, I've chosen a back five. I've thought a bit about this earlier this morning. I was talking about Emre Can in the 4-3-3 system. But the more I think about Emre Can in midfield, the less I like the idea, if I'm being honest. On paper, it might not be the worst idea, but in practice, it probably is. That being said, I'm also not entirely confident that Dortmund can pull off a back three with this lineup. But right now, this is sort of the best I got, where you have Wolf and Guerreiro as the fullbacks. And then you have, of course, all the three centre-backs with Schlotterbeck, Hummels and Süle in the middle. Bellingham, Özcan and Reus, if you will, form a three-man midfield in front of that, because even though Emre Can on paper would be a good defensive midfielder, I think in practice Marco Reus is actually better, because he does work very well against the ball and also has moments going forward, which Emre Can doesn't have that much. And if they are fit, which as you can hear from the news conference earlier, is still in doubt. Malen and Adeyemi still doubtful going into the game tomorrow, but as Terzic said, I think this is all about pace and counter-attacking, and these are the two fastest players on the team right now. And obviously, in an ideal world, Marco Reus would get a break and Gio Reyna would start instead, and Nico Schlotterbeck, after not really playing well against Leipzig, would also get a break. And you would have a backline with Hummels and Süle. But I think in this setup, Dortmund actually have a decent chance of some ball retention and also playing it out of the back, which of course was a bit of a problem against Leipzig. And to alleviate that, one more defender might actually help. But at the same time, this can also easily backfire, because A, keeping the offside trap working might be much harder, and B, if you lose possession, you might lose it way closer to your goal and thus make things easier for Manchester City. Either way, I'm not entirely confident about this game, but I think the starting 11 on paper at least looks very decent, but it of course has to be filled with life, and against Leipzig this was certainly not the case, and I really do hope that Dortmund can bounce back. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think Borussia Dortmund should do, how their lineup should be, what the tactical approach should be, and of course what your scoreline prediction is, because I would like to get a feel of the optimism of fellow Borussia Dortmund fans. And yeah, with that, we can move on to what Ilkay Gündogan said at today's news conference.
Ilkay, looking forward to the game, and Erling Haaland, can you give us your thoughts on how well he's settled in with your team?
I think very well. I mean, the numbers, they speak for themselves. I think he's doing great on the pitch, but also his character, his attitude, his determination also off the pitch is something incredible. And for such a young boy, he's very mature, and I think his future is very bright. I think he's gonna show us a lot more, not just this season, also for the next few years. and I think the club signed an incredible player and also an incredible person.
Has he expressed any particular excitement or nerves even playing against his old club?
No, I saw him very happy actually after the draw. After he saw that we are playing Dortmund, he was sitting right next to me and he was very happy. He was actually asking me what I was thinking, and I think we are both excited, to play against our former team. Me, obviously, it's quite in the past. I'm already more than 6 years here now, so. For him, it's probably going to be a lot more special than for me, because he will know 95% of the squad still. I personally know still a few players, and I'm really looking forward, not just for the game here tomorrow, also for the game in Dortmund. So obviously it's a special occasion for both of us.
Hi Ilkay. There's plenty of links. There's you, there's Erling, there's Sergio Gomez, there's Manuel now as well. Do you take the emotion out of it tomorrow night, or do you use that somehow in the game?
I'm sure it's impossible to take it out, because either of us will have memories, attached obviously to Dortmund. And I believe all four of us, we have mainly positive memories, I think. So it's going to be quite difficult to take out the emotions completely. I mean, obviously, you deal with them always as a professional football player, and you try to deal with them in the best possible way. But I think it's about using them to, in your favor, and go from there. Maybe not to be overexcited, and just try to keep calm and cool, which can be sometimes the most difficult thing in football.
Hi Ilkay. I just wondered if you could talk about how important Dortmund was in your career. Obviously starting off with a bit of disappointment at Schalke, but then it was Dortmund really where you sort of shone.
Incredibly important, actually. I mean, I had 4 years with Jürgen Klopp. I had 1 year with Thomas Tuchel at Dortmund, and I am very grateful, to be honest, what they have offered me. How much they taught me, how much the club gave to me, and I feel privileged to have played for a team like Borussia Dortmund, and also being able to win the league with them, to win the cup with them. It was extraordinary, and I wouldn't want to miss it a second, and that's why I will always remember the time that I had there, the 5 incredible years I had there. And still have connections, to the team, to have connections to the people around the team, and it was a big honor for me to be a Borussia Dortmund player.
So yeah, that is it from me for today. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy the game tomorrow. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.